Hello there, podcast listeners. Today I want to talk about a concept called flipper hop, and why it's a bad thing, and why I'm seeing it more and more in older sterns due to incorrect parts being installed, and actually the inability to get the correct part. This is a 9-ball with the original flippers. You can see. A little yellowed, but they're original. Now, if I take a ball and I roll it along the flipper, when it rolls down, there is a smooth transition as it comes down. So if I want to aim and hit something on the fly, it's not a problem. The concept of flipper hop is where this flipper, for whatever reason, it'd be up higher. So when the ball comes down, instead of, like, if you look at this, it actually goes down a little bit into the flipper. If the flipper is at the same, around the same, I don't know what you call it, alignment, or higher, what'll happen, the ball will come down, it'll actually catch the flipper, and you'll get a little hop. Right when it gets around, a little hop. Which, especially if it's going slower, it makes it extremely difficult to shoot shots on the playfield. Now if we come over here, I have 4 flippers from different games. We have this is from a Harlem Globetrotters, and this is from a Stars. A Bally and a Stern game, and they're both the older style where they use like a metal, it's like a metal flipper with a plastic bat screwed onto it. Then we have a Stern flipper bat with the one piece, which is plastic and the shaft into the plastic. This is from it's actually from a 9-ball. And then we have, this is a brand new flipper bat from Marco Specialties that is advertised as a Stern / Bally flipper bat. Also one piece. So we're going to do a little comparison here. Alright, I put these in a row. What we have first is the Stars, followed by the Harlem Globetrotters, followed by the brand new flipper from Marco, followed by a 9-ball flipper. And if you look at the first three, you'll notice they're about the same size. I mean, they're all 3 inches high, the 3-inch flippers, but the width at the base and the tip around the same, for the most part. I would say that the Marco one does look perhaps a little bit wider, but it's close. And the thing is, I don't have an original Bally flipper of that type to compare it against, so that might actually be right. But look at the Stern flipper. Look at the 9-ball. It ain't even close. It is much narrower. I mean, it is not even close. Hence the issue. What will happen, and I see this a lot of pinball shows, you'll see like a restored 9-ball or maybe a restored Sea Witch. You know, basically any game, big game or after. Big game and after is when Stern started using the one piece, like this flipper. They started using that on big game and after. When they went to a different style flipper plate, they went to that flipper, bat style. So anything big game and after, which is a lot of their really good games, like, you know, big game, like I said, Sea Witch, Stargazer, 9-ball, Cheetah, yeah, a lot of those classic Stern games, Quicksilver. And what'll happen is when you put this flipper, what'll happen is they'll restore the game and they'll see the flippers and they'll be all yellowed and they'll figure, I'll just get a brand new flipper bat, one of these one-piece guys, because Marco sells them or whoever sells them. I'll just put this in. And they take the old ones out and they put it in. And when they do, you can see side by side, how much wider this is. What'll happen is when you put this in here, it's hard to show, but you get the idea. When you put this in, this is going to be way up higher, and you're going to start getting flipper hop. And it's going to be an issue on pretty much any game, big game and after, if you put brand new flipper bats in there. And the reason is this particular flipper bat, this is like, it is unavailable. You will not find this. No one makes this. So what I'm saying is, if you have a game, if you have something before big game that is using this style flipper bat, you can use this style replacement if you want, and it will probably work well. Although, I mean, I still think if you look at these, I still think the new one is maybe a little, just a tad wider, but it's not a huge difference, but it still may be enough of a difference to cause issues. But that is flipper hop. That's why it's bad. And that's why you see it on a lot of games, especially at high-end shows where you get a lot of really nice games that have been restored and they replaced like everything, like the flipper bats. They replaced all the targets. That's another issue on these old Sterns. You replace these targets, the new targets they're harder plastic and they brick badly. They brick, and I'm not saying these don't brick too, but they brick worse than these. You see a lot of that. Also, what you will see a lot of, if I come over to my Stars has these type targets which don't have the flat top. And you'll see, like, they'll take these out and replace them with the newer style. Don't do that. Or if you do that, email slamtiltpodcast@gmail.com and sell me the old ones, because I will take them. Because these drop a lot better. These are actually the best. The ones without the lip on the top. These drop nice and hardly ever break. But just some friendly advice from your weekly podcast. That's Ron from the Slam Tilt Podcast signing off. Tom Servo says goodbye.